Hello and welcome to the Moncast.
A podcast where twice a week we watch an episode of Pokemon and Digimon and discuss the similarities and differences that they share.
My name's Stevie.
And I'm Sam.
The score currently stands at 9-7 to Pokemon, and this time we are watching episode 17, The Crest of Sincerity and Island of the Giant Pokemon. The first episode we are watching this time is The Crest of Sincerity.
The Digigang are walking through the desert as per usual when they find a piece of foreshadowing, a cactus. They also see a cruise ship, because why wouldn't they see a boat sailing through the desert? They climb aboard and start relaxing when a man turns into a chicken for no reason and turns the Digimon into stone and chases naked girls around his ship, until Togemon teaches him a lesson in personal space. Then, the writers realise that the plot is getting quite interesting and entertaining and decide to explode the ship and give Mimi her crest because there were only 4 minutes left of the episode.
Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions. Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon.
Okay, I have not done likes and dislikes, I've just written my train of thought out as the episode goes along, so...
So you will be all over the place.
Probably. So, what did you like about this episode?
I liked it when they all started contemplating whether they were caring for the Digimon properly.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to see Genai just chew out Tai for mistreating Agumon. I like how he talks to Tai and says... Because the way I heard it, I assumed that he was talking to Tai, saying that he's mistreated Agumon and this is why he turned to Skull Greymon. And then everyone else just starts to feel bad, like they've treated their Digimon in a bad way, but they haven't really. Tai's the one who's been the worst.
It's good that they are trying to at least explore a new train of thought.
I think TK was the second worst person.
Yeah, TK's probably the second worst at looking after his Digimon. It wasn't great looking after Poyomon, and then Togemon got kidnapped straight away.
And then turned to stone, and then he flops to the side a little bit. I thought that was really cute.
Togemon's cute.
Even when it gets turned to stone, it's adorable.
It is. I love it when Togemon is on TK's hat.
I like how prepared we are for this episode.
We are the most prepared of the prepared.
It has been pretty much a month since recording, so we're going to be rusty, and it's great.
We're a bit out of practice.
I like how the first bit of notes I've got is, we're here. When did we get here? We only met Etamon an episode ago. It has been 2 episodes?
Yeah, 2 episodes ago.
And already 3 people have got their crests.
A crest an episode keeps the Doctor away. Doesn't have the great ring to it, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Keeps the Digi-Doctor away.
Keeps the bad plot away.
Except it doesn't. Just makes it worse. I liked the sound that Koromon makes.
The one where he sees the Numamon.
Yeah, Mimi just says Numamon, and they're just like...
Numamon show up and Koromon starts crying. I know that feeling, buddy. The second you see them poke their little head out in a little sailor's outfit, like, oh no, it's these. It's these people.
It's hard to tell if he's in discomfort or he's just trying to not laugh.
It's a bit like seeing that one person at a party who you just can't stand. Like the aunt or the uncle who thinks they know best for you and also are slightly racist. They lock eyes with you and you're like, oh, hey, it's you guys, yay. As a little piece of your soul dies.
It was so out of the blue and so long. It's the best sound.
It is, it's great.
Oh, I want to get that sound and make it like my text tone on my phone. Just whenever I get a message, just...
That'll be my alarm when I wake up in the morning, because that's the sound I make every morning when I wake up.
Other things, what did you like?
I like how Cockatrice is in a human disguise while there's no one else there, and then talks to himself, and then explodes into a chicken.
It's so dumb.
I don't get why. This is a thing that I like, but also because it's dumb. So it's a thing that you could not like, but I like it because it's really dumb and it doesn't make any sense. Why does he start this plan of attacking the kids because he can't get in contact with Etamon? Just leave them alone. They're relaxing by a pool and eating food. They're not going anywhere. Don't be a person for no reason. And that's a really good person disguise because the mouth moves and everything. It's better than what the Bakemon do. So maybe just stay as a human for a bit and then let them relax and then maybe talk and say, oh, this is a ship that has been travelling the Digiworld looking for humans to fall here. We can get you home. I don't know. The kids would believe it.
The kids will believe anything.
It's digital world weirdness. They'd believe anything. But no, he has to explode into a giant chicken and then attack them.
I mean, if they trusted the Pokemon, they're going to trust this captain. The Pokemon were just like the least trustworthy things ever. And it's like, oh no, that's fine.
I think they're cute.
They're not very trustworthy though. They sing songs, deceitful songs. Welcome to our village. We hope you never go.
Ever.
Unnecessary. Disguise is unnecessary.
Yes, but also really good. Like, it's a really good disguise. It doesn't look like a weird thing with a mask. He has a flappy mouth and everything.
The lip syncing's better with the disguise than with the chicken.
When he's himself, he just sort of flaps his mouth about.
When he's exploding, there's just no lip syncing whatsoever.
Anything else you like?
Etamon.
Yes.
Etamon was brilliant.
That's the only time he's in this episode. But it's really good. He just starts singing, and then he gets so angry when the Gazimon are doing their little bit in the background. No, it's my little song, my little show.
Who gave you permission to dance? Etamon is the best. He is the king.
I think Etamon's probably my favourite villain, just because of how dumb he is.
He is really dumb.
I like it when there's a villain who's really powerful, but doesn't just wipe the floor with everybody, and they give them a justified reason. And for Etamon, it's that it seems to be that he doesn't really care about the kids. He already fought the kids and wiped the floor with them. He's off doing his own thing, trying to control the digital world. But the kids are just this annoyance that constantly happen.
I'm not sure if I agree with you there. I don't think that's a good reason. Because he's still searching for the kids. He's still trying to hunt them down and wipe them out.
I suppose. I think I just like the fact that he's kind of ridiculous.
I think the main reason he's not succeeded so far is because he's not been there in person, apart from the first attempt.
He's got more important things to be doing.
I don't know what he is doing.
Singing.
He's on tour.
He has got a very strict tour schedule, so he cannot stop. I like his little trailer thing. It's got his face on it, or a thing similar to his face. It's really cool.
I just like his song as well. I like how his justification for most things is, because I'm Edamon.
I'm so evil.
That line is still the best line.
That's his entire backstory. That's all we need to know about him, is that he's so evil. So I am not a massive fan of the concept of being turned to stone, and I'll talk about that later, but there is an even scarier concept in this episode when he's tied up the kids and they're being burnt to death by the sun, and he talks about how he's like, their faces are going to get really crispy and he likes them with fries. He's talking about eating the kids' faces with fries.
I know, that was dark.
It got real dark real quick.
It's almost like karma.
Well, they ate eggs. They ate eggs in that one episode.
They've probably eaten chicken at some point in their life. It's justice. The chicken Digimon will take its revenge.
I just think it went from 0 to 60. It was like, it was a fun little romp of an episode, and suddenly he's like, yeah, I'm just going to cook the kids and eat their face meat. It's like, whoa, chicken dude, calm down. Just dial it back to 11, please. You don't have to burn the kids' faces, then eat the face meat. You can turn them to stone if you want to, but no, he doesn't decide to wipe the kids out in one go by just turning them to stone. No, he wants them alive to eat their face meat.
They needed some reason for him to not kill the kids.
All you need to know is I am horrified by the concept of a chicken eating kids, and the dub writers put that in, looked at that and said, yeah, that's funny. Oh yeah, I'm going to steal the kids' faces and cook them and eat the meat. Oh, the kids on their little Saturday mornings, they're like, ha ha ha, it's so funny. That's haunting.
Just pecking away.
No, I don't want the image of it. Let's not talk about face meat eating.
Okay, I've only got a few more things. So, the dark network is unreliable, which is consistent with real networks. It's still accurate today. The network is down.
Any more likes?
Talk. I like it when Koromon announces what he's about to do.
Oh, Digivolve.
Digivolve!
Randomly just says Digivolve. Good for you. You know what you're doing.
Did you like my little joke then when I said talk before I talked?
I did.
Thank you.
I have a little note, which is, do you think Sora's on Team Valor because of Birdramon? I saw it and I was like, Team Valor, which is also known as the best team.
All these jokes are going to be so dated in a week when it's not a thing anymore.
Okay, another thing I like is Togemon. I think Togemon is my favourite champion to watch fight because it doesn't get the usual 1 or 2 bits of reused footage. I mean, it does get needle spray, but it has those really nice animation shots of it punching the crap out of Chickenmon. It's the most physical fighter. I think that's my last like. Shall we go on to what we don't like about this episode?
I just wanted to point out one more thing, which was I liked that it was the 2 girls that took down the bad guy at the end, instead of it just being the usual Tai or Matt or whatever.
Yeah, because in a regular episode, it would have been those 2 that got turned to stone first.
Yeah.
Then they'd have to save Mimi and Sora, and they'd make a note of saying that they have to save them. But no, they're the only ones who aren't going to have their faces eaten.
They aren't damsels in distress. like they sometimes are. For once, they save the day.
But they do some bad stuff in this episode.
Yeah, this episode has some bad things.
Flirty Mimi. No, Mimi, don't be flirty. You're 10. Don't be flirty with Numamon. That makes me feel weird.
I think I just sort of glazed over when that was going on, because I just want to block it out after what happened in Togemon in Toy Town.
I don't get why she didn't just ask and say, hey guys, could we go on your boat for a bit? The desert's really hot. She didn't have to make it sexual.
I can't remember what she said exactly.
It was in a really sultry voice, just something along the lines of, oh, hello, whatevers, we can do stuff. I don't know. I tried to gloss over it myself, so I can't remember what happened anymore. All I know is that Flirty Mimi was flirty and it bothered me.
Putting Numamon and Mimi together just makes every episode worse.
They don't have to sexualize women all the time, and it does, especially if they're kids. Especially if it's Mimi. She doesn't know any better. Bless her little cotton socks.
Should be the crest of naivety.
I was actually thinking, because at the end of the episode she says, oh, it's the crest of sincerity. I was trying to think of, A, how does she know that? And B, what should she rather have? I couldn't really think of anything that doesn't sound awful.
Well, it's purity in the sub, isn't it?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe she should have honesty. I know that's Joe's crest in the sub, but honestly, I feel like Mimi should have honesty.
She's a bit blunt, or just dumb. She's a bit of a ditz.
In the dub, yes, definitely.
Mimi, why so problems?
Okay, any dislikes?
I've got a sort of dislike / like. In the recap, the music and all of Ty's description just makes it seem like the last episode wasn't a big deal at all.
Yeah, it's like he glossed over it and just said, oh, yeah, some bad stuff happened. No, Ty, you were really bad.
It's just like, and then he digivolved to Skull Greymon, and it was great! The last episode, it was not a good thing.
It made it seem less severe. Like, it was a really bad thing that happened. You know, we don't really know the mechanics of the world, but I could potentially see going from later seasons where something similar to this happens and what happens to those Digimon. I could potentially see maybe if it had got any worse, maybe Agumon would have just been destroyed because of what happened by turning into Skull Greymon. You know, it could have serious ramifications. You don't know how stable it is. It could be really unstable evolution. That could have caused it, instead of de-evolving back into Koromon, could have just straight up died, which would have been really cool. That would have made 2 Digimon in the main team have essentially died, and then it would have knocked Ty down a few pegs, because he just doesn't seem to have been fazed by it. In this episode, he doesn't seem to be pondering it or thinking about it. He just went, oh, that was a little bit of a bad thing. Oh, whoops.
No, in the episode itself, I do think he is thinking about what he needs to do to look after Agumon better. It's just in the recap where it's a bit too lackadaisical. It's a bit zippity-doo-dah. Anyway, other problems, the bad jokes are everywhere.
I was about to say, they don't really affect me anymore, but I have got a note that says, and it's a quote from Izzy, it appears to be highly edible. I'm like, Izzy, I don't have time for your crap today. Of course, food looks highly edible. It's not making you sound smarter. And then he says something else after, like, he's come to the conclusion that something. It's like...
Yeah, it's like, it'd be rude to let it go cold, or something like that.
No, you don't need to. That doesn't make him sound smart. It's making him sound like a smart ass, and he doesn't need to be that.
Bit annoying at times. What else is bad?
Naked kids.
Naked kids.
Naked kids. The second the girls get on the boat, they are naked and they're in a shower.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. It's like, ooh, they're in a shower. They are showering. Imagine them showering.
Because it doesn't show them that they're in separate showers. It just, you see their clothes all rabbled together like you do in movies where like the straight white couple have just gone upstairs after a meal together and all the clothes have been thrown on the floor in a little trail into the bed, and it's all like,
why are you making it worse?
Because it's my turn.
I don't want to imagine a lesbian shower scene between Mimi and Sora.
It looks like that's what's implied. Well, not implied. I know it's not implied, but it just... They don't show 2 showers.
It doesn't imply them sharing showers at all.
Well, it doesn't show that there's like 2 showers or multiple shower rooms or anything, so it just looks like they've both just ran into a shower together. That's the first thing they needed to do.
Oh god, why?
Yeah.
You made it worse.
And it's my turn, I'm allowed to. That's the thought process I had when I saw...
I didn't jump straight to lesbians.
I wasn't all like, oh, this looks dirty. It just reminded me of those shots in films where you see the trail of clothes leading to the bed or whatever. It was an observation, and I just told you about an observation. This is what we do. This is what the podcast's for.
Like, imagining just a girl in the shower is bad enough, but imagining two girls... No,
I'm not imagining it. I'm just saying that this scene reminded me of things from films.
No, that's what you prompted in my head, and you made it bad.
I didn't do anything. I just told you about information that I saw. You're the dirty one.
Can we change the subject, please?
We should do that.
Can you please tell me what the Easter chicken is?
When a chicken and a child's burnt face meat love each other very much, they call the Easter chicken, and the Easter chicken brings seasonings for the child face meat.
Okay.
So there's that weird animation bit where Sora's holding out her Digivice, and there's really heavy line art around her hand and Digivice.
I thought that was cool.
It was really weird.
It was a power pose. I liked that.
It was kind of cool, but also a bit like, not been done before. Okay, so here's one. They just walk off the boat. Like, did you want to make sure that Chickenmon's dead? Because they're in a desert. They could walk for miles and Chickenmon could still find them. There's not like anything to hide behind except maybe the cacti, but
They fortunately come across.
I don't know about you, but I feel like the episode was quite good up until when they got off the boat. And then it just seemed really rushed. Within the last couple of minutes, the boat starts coming at them, and then they suddenly see the giant cactus, which was a mirage before, and suddenly it's a real thing. And then the boat somehow has enough speed and momentum to land on the cacti, which is now flexible enough to bend all the way back and then throw the ship into the air, which is then being held to the ground somehow by the rope.
It's the dark network cable. That's why it explodes when it gets torn.
Yeah, and then the ship explodes, and then Chickenmon's destroyed, and it just feels so like they didn't know what to do in the last couple of minutes of the episode, instead of stretching it out to 2 episodes. And personally, I feel this story would have been quite good as a 2-parter.
I don't know. There'd be so much more walking in the desert.
Or more time in the boat and a bit more of a mystery. They could see this human, which is an element they added in for no reason. They could find a human and then be like, oh, so you go and find people. Oh yes, we find people and then we take them back to the human world. I am this person. And they could end up talking about this human person who was quite clearly deceiving them. They could have quite happily have done a little story where they think they're finally safe and they found this way of getting home. And then contemplating maybe going home and saying goodbye to the Digimon, and suddenly, boom, out of nowhere in the start of the next episode, it's a giant Chickenmon that's turning them to stone. They could have spread it out over 2 episodes. But no, instead the end is just, they've just tried to wrap everything up. And the cactus that destroys the boat is also the cactus that gives Mimi the crest, which she knows the name of for some reason.
Yeah, it is very rushed at the end. Or it's just compact. It could be positive or negative. It's up to you.
In Digimon, it's the same thing. I'm all done with this episode.
I'll be quick, because they're not super elaborate points. Jedi still sucks. It does even less than last time. The animation is still really lazy. There's a lot of them standing around with their mouths wide open while one of them talks. Numemon like bread and jelly.
That could be American for jam on toast.
But would you be driven to such evil things by bread and jelly?
Look at jelly. It's quite clearly the evil dessert. Why do you think RPGs have slime monsters? Evil jelly.
Last thing, how do they turn back from stone when Cockatrice isn't actually destroyed already?
It does that weird thing that happens in games and films and stuff, that this evil has taken over the land, but when you defeat the evil, everything goes back.
Except he climbs out the chimney.
It's a trope I don't like. It's in a lot of things that when you defeat the evil big bad, then everything that he's done has just gone back to normal.
Yeah, they didn't have that problem with Devimon. The Black Gears were still around for at least 1 episode, so it wasn't like it was completely reversed.
It would have been cool to have seen there being... This is how they could have stretched it out into 2 episodes. Maybe once they defeat Chickenmon, they're still stone, so Mimi and Sora have to go and find an antidote. Would have been cool. Would have given the girls some more time to flesh their characters out. And
they find the medicine in the Crest of Sincerity cactus.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's all hypothetical. This episode is a bit
I think I quite enjoyed most of it, but I think that's because I haven't watched an episode in almost a month, and I was just really hyped to get back to doing all this.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't think it's any better than usual. It's just got all the same problems as normal. What's your favourite character or thing?
Togemon fight. I think every time Togemon's in an episode and she gets to fight, I think that'll be my favourite thing, because I really like how Togemon fights.
I liked the Petrifier attack that Cockatrice had, just because it's cool seeing things get turned to stone.
Nah, I've got a fear of things of being turned to stone. That's so weird, but I have to explain myself. When I was younger, I watched a film and it was about Medusa. I think it was Jason and the Argonauts or something like that. But it was about Medusa and people being turned to stone and then being broken apart, and it really, 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 really weirds me out.
Yeah, well, that's probably one of the reasons I find it cool, is because of like Medusa and Greek mythology and stuff like that.
Well, Cockatrice comes from the Cockatrice, which is a creature which is like a giant chicken, and it does the exact same thing of turning things to stone.
Oh, overall thoughts on the episode?
It was okay. It follows a lot of similar plot beats to previous episodes, right up until the end, where it just hurries along.
It was just run-of-the-mill average Digimon episode.
It did do nice things, though. Like, it had a ship out of nowhere, which was really cool. And then even Cockatrimon's kind of cool as a villain. It's a giant chicken.
In a captain's outfit. Maybe he found the captain and stole his face meat so he could wear it.
No.
The captain's one of the original Digidestined.
Oh, no. But yeah, even the villain's nice. It's a giant chicken that has a very serious danger of being turned to stone, which isn't like death, it's like permanently being turned to stone forever. It's cool.
Stone Tokamon is cute.
I thought that was really adorable. The second episode we are watching is Island of the Giant Pokemon.
Ash and Co let go of each other and land on a desert island, still together anyway, except for some of Ash's Pokemon. Team Rocket survive as well, but they too have lost their Pokemon. Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Squirtle and Charmander start looking for Ash, but come across Meowth, Ekans and Koffing instead. They decide to put aside their differences and continue their search together. And after a long night and some strange encounters with giant Pokemon, Team Rocket gets themselves trapped in a runaway cart, being chased by several giants. Soon they are joined by Ash and Co that happen to be passing by, and they're all reunited with their Pokemon before being launched into the ocean and discovering that they've actually just destroyed every giant Pokemon in a Poke-themed amusement park. It's a weird episode.
It is a very weird episode. Like, my first note is I've actually been really pumped for this episode because of all the Pokemon Go stuff. And then there's this episode which I've got to watch, and it's like, yeah, Pokemon.
Yeah, and it has also been like several weeks since I've watched anything. That cliffhanger was like a month long.
It just jumped right into it, which was nice. It didn't have any sort of long backstory. It was just, they're in a tornado. No, they're not. They're over here.
I'm just going to struggle to express everything I liked, because it's so good. It's good in a so ridiculously bad it's good way.
Well, Krabby says cookie, and I love it.
Cookie, cookie, cookie.
I'm concerned by the fact that Team Rocket says we survived again. Like, how many times did they almost die?
They get blasted off like every episode almost.
And at the end of it, they're like, yay, we survived again. Death didn't claim us.
They are invincible.
Also, they got their Pokemon for their birthdays and also Christmas.
They haven't got any other Pokemon, so they've never actually caught a Pokemon.
I think, didn't James get Coughing for Christmas? Happy Christmas, son. Have this. It's a ball of purple that shoots poisonous gas. Enjoy. I don't really want this. Oh, it makes me feel lightheaded and a little bit sick. No, enjoy it. You could have got me like a Nidoran or something, or one that doesn't shoot poisonous fumes around me. No, son. Enjoy the coughing.
Why did you say Nidoran? That's a poison rat Pokemon.
Yeah, but it's less dangerous than literally a ball that shoots out poison smoke. It literally has a death face on its body. Or then, happy birthday, have a snake.
At least we've got origin stories now for the Pokemon. And then we get the best thing about this whole episode. The fact that everything that the Pokemon say is entirely subtitled.
We haven't even got... No. We've got to go to the bit before this, which is Team Rocket are on a beach and they find a random phone booth.
They just completely took it from Digimon.
It's blatantly the second episode of Digimon now.
Anyway, best thing, subtitles. It's all subtitled. It's amazing. I love it.
I've got subtitling what Pokemon are saying. Stevie's gonna love this.
It is the best thing.
Because don't you hate it when the Pokemon have conversations with each other? I'm pretty sure on 2 occasions in a couple episodes you've said, oh, I don't like it when the Pokemon have extended conversations. And then I've always said, actually, I really enjoy it. We'll have an entire episode dedicated to it.
It's all subtitled, and it's so ridiculous because nothing makes it's just random Pokemon saying the name.
If you don't have the subtitles on, it's literally half the episode is just Bulbasaur, Bulbasaur, Pika, Pika. That's the entire Imagine being the person who dubs Bulbasaur and being given this script, and it's like, like 5 pages of just the word Bulbasaur again and again. You're like, what is this?
This translates into full English, don't worry.
I think my favourite quote of this episode is literally Bulbasaur saying, "I'm just me." Is everyone okay? I'm just me. Oh, Bulbasaur, yes you are.
Full sentences of like multiple words are just like bulb.
Yes. To be fair though, this episode does some really nice characterization of the Pokemon that we wouldn't normally get.
Yeah, they do still seem to have traces of their individual personalities.
Like Bulbasaur mentions how maybe Ash has abandoned them because Bulbasaur was abandoned before. It's nice to see these little character traits which are still there.
Yeah, and Squirtle's a bit impish.
Oh, they're going to be things that are going to eat us. Nya, 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 nya.
Those teeth. And then Charmander's just Charmander.
And then they find me on a beach. They find a Slowpoke.
Slowpoke's cool.
Yeah, I really like Slowpoke. It's adorable.
He's not lazy, he's slow.
Yeah, but what animal is that?
The Wikipedia says it's a cross between a salamander and a hippo. That's quite inventive.
I do kind of like Slowpoke's design. It's not just give an element to an animal that exists.
I love the way it evolves as well.
It's got one of the most unique evolution styles, especially for like the first generation. Having a Pokemon which has another Pokemon bite its tail and then they both become a Pokemon. That's really cool.
It's just DNA Digivolution. Steps out the water, he's got this thing on his tail, and he says slow bro instead.
It is literally Geogressing.
It's just like, I'm stronger now.
And then like, so after that, it becomes an episode, well, it becomes Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. That shot where they're all walking, I was just like, it just reminds me of Mystery Dungeon a lot. And then they meet Meowth, and Meowth does the motto.
All alone.
And it's kind of cute. And then, like, Coughing and Ekans don't use full sentences, or at least when translated. And I thought that was really weird. And I don't know whether that was on purpose or not, but it gives you, like, an insight into Team Rocket, maybe. How Ash's Pokemon seem to be able to be cognizant enough to say full sentences, but Team Rocket's a almost caveman stereotype where they don't use full sentences.
They're a bit simple, but they have deep life lessons to teach. Like, Pokemon aren't made bad, they just have bad trainers.
I like that quote. I thought that was quite good.
Something along those lines, anyway.
And then there's suddenly Zapdos, and it makes this really awful sound of metal on metal. Very bizarre. Also, you see Zapdos and Moltres, but you don't see Articuno, which is fine because Articuno's dumb.
That's fine, because neither of us are Team Mystic.
Okay, right. We know that the Pokemon are giant robots. How is Moltres a thing? Like, the fire on Moltres is proper flickering flames.
How are they flying anyway? They must be pretty heavy, and planes don't usually fly by flapping the wings.
They're like those giant Zeppelins, like remote control Zeppelins you can get.
Very fast giant Zeppelins.
And then, like, after that bit, where the Pokemon are at that street bar crying.
I know, it just turns up out of nowhere.
It's just a random little shot, and it's really cool, and I think my favourite part about it is that I'm pretty sure Charmander is eating a churro.
It's not as good as when Meowth turns around and Ekans and Coughing are just there, like at a table, having tea.
When I think of this episode, this is the scene I think of. Apart from one other scene, which we'll talk about later, which is very close to happening.
It's good how throughout this episode there are a lot of things that don't seem to make sense, but then all of a sudden do at the end, with the conclusion.
I like the fact that Team Rocket hit the sign and they just lie there and sleep. And they wake up, and then my favourite scene from this entire episode, they call the boss and they do the motto down the phone. The music's coming from the phone line, so it's that really bad audio quality. And they're just there doing the motto to their boss, and I'm just like, oh, Team Rocket, you guys are precious, and I love you both so much. I genuinely laughed out loud at this bit.
This episode's so funny.
I really like this episode. Yeah, is that Mirage? That's not Mirage, that's a real Pikachu.
The giant Pikachu is the best.
Yeah, it's just, there's Pikachu! And then it kept getting closer and getting closer.
Just the expression on its face. It's so cold and dead behind the eyes. It's amazing.
It's great.
Just like, yes, I'm Pikachu. This is my whole existence.
Charizard fires a flamethrower. Blastoise blasts water at Squirtle, and then Venusaur's just there, being Venusaur.
Yeah, it's just they have to have the evolutions of the starters.
It doesn't do an attack, though, it just is there.
It's just a Venusaur.
Bless you, Venusaur, you weird frog plant. So then the episode just gets ridiculous when they find the minecart.
The whole episode's a runaway train.
Where's it getting its power from?
It's a roller coaster.
And then there's also a loop in the track. For some reason, we don't know why. And then Team Rocket are just so used to failure. They're like, so what's going to happen is this will happen, and then this will happen, and then this will happen, and it happens, and they're just so nonplussed because they know exactly how it's going to go.
Yeah, they just predict the whole run of bad luck, which makes perfect sense, because Team Rocket is pretty unlucky.
And then Team Rocket own Pokemon Land? How evil of them.
He invested in an amusement park.
I suppose he's going to make his money somewhere.
Just a bit on the side.
And then it ends with them just randomly being in Porta Vista. This island and this port are not in the game, and I so wish they were in the game.
Yeah, I thought it sounded a bit made up.
It would be pretty cool. Do you have anything you like about this episode that I haven't mentioned?
Okay, Pikachu calls everyone but Ash those guys.
Ah, I didn't think of that.
It's pretty much the same as us, like Ash and Co. Even Pikachu knows that that's the way it is. Brock and Misty just don't matter. Speaking of Brock and Misty, Brock in Charmander is Charmander, and Misty in Squirtle speak is Squirrel, Squirrel, Squirrel. This is just one example of how dumb the subtitling of Pokemon is.
But it's so good.
Which means that when Brock calls out for Charmander, he's actually calling out for Brock.
Or one of the many, many other things that Charmander says.
How on earth do you even speak Pokemon? Like, one word can mean anything.
So when you say their name, maybe you're saying other stuff to them.
It could be saying anything. Pokespeak is weird. It makes absolutely no sense. It's completely ridiculous, and I love it. But the subtitles are going to disappear, aren't they? I would love it if just all of Pokemon has subtitles when the Pokemon are speaking.
From now on, just for every other episode. I think they lose a lot of characterization after this episode.
Yeah, because you'll have no idea what they're saying. They'll just be back to saying the names. It won't be translated anymore, which will make me sad. My last happy thing is that it has a Kabutops, and Kabutops is my favourite.
Okay, good. I'm glad you noticed that. I saw it and I was like, I'm hoping Stevie appreciates the fact there's a giant mechanical Kabutops chasing them. Well, being dragged.
Just when all of them are piled up behind the cart being dragged along.
I like it when they go past Pikachu and then it just gets added to the mix and it's got that little dead stare just being dragged along.
That shot is the best shot in the whole episode. Dead eyes Pikachu behind them.
Any more likes?
I just like the whole episode, really.
Any dislike?
At the start, I made a note that if this whole episode is just a dream, I was going to be annoyed. And it all being a theme park is pretty close to that. I wanted actual giant Pokemon.
It was a nice way of explaining it away. They could have had a whole mystery, a bit like Skull Island and stuff with King Kong and everything, and Godzilla. They could have used that a bit more.
This could be the origin of that mystery Pokemon from a few episodes ago.
It could be.
But no, it's animatronics.
My only dislike is that the episode got really crazy really fast near the end, but it kind of makes sense because it builds up to this crescendo. It got really crazy, and actually I really enjoy it. I think the only thing I don't like is how literally the whole mystery is explained at the very end by one person on a boat. They could have found something out a bit more.
I think they sort of worked out that it was all fake when they smashed through Zapdos. I do have one last thing that I didn't like, which was that while all the Pokemon were gathered round at the bar and crying, there was no subtitles, because I wanted to hear what they were saying while they were depressed.
Probably sad things.
I know, but that's proper emotions from the Pokemon that we'll never get to know exactly what they were thinking. What if they were actually just crying out of joy because the food was so good?
Or maybe they're crying in relief that they don't have to go near their Pokemon trainers anymore. They're finally free. So, what was your favourite character, thing, and why?
The subtitles.
Okay, I thought it'd be something else.
Which just basically makes the majority of the episode my favourite thing.
I honestly thought you wouldn't enjoy the Pokemon talking because you didn't like it before, but then again, I suppose now you're given context with the subtitles.
It's so hilarious. That's what I liked about it, because it's just highlighted how ridiculous it is how Pokemon speak. It's so dumb, and as you know, I like dumb things.
Okay, my favourite thing is Pikachu.
Yeah, that was my close second place.
I thought it'd be your favourite thing. I really, really, really like it, because I get why there would be a Charizard and a Blastoise and a Venusaur and Zapdos and Moltres and everything and Kabutops, because they're hard to get Pokemon or they're legendary Pokemon. But then there's a Pikachu for no reason. But I think it's really cool. That 1,000-yard stare it's got, and it's just like, Pika-Pee. It's just great.
Overall thoughts, was the funniest episode we've had so far, and I will probably watch it again.
Was okay, full stop. That's my genuine notes for this was okay, full stop. But yeah, I totally agree with you. It was such a good episode. I think it's my favourite episode so far.
Actually, yeah, it's probably my favourite, but it's probably not the best so far.
I think it's because the storyline is so out there. They end up on an island full of gigantic Pokemon. And then it just gets completely insane when they find the minecart and everything. I think it's because it's got, I think one of my favourite all-time scenes is when they're doing the motto down the phone. Where is the music coming from? It sounds like it's coming from the phone. But why? They're in a phone booth doing the motto to their boss for no reason. It makes me really happy.
I want to watch it again, but cover up the bottom of the video so I can't see the subtitles. See what that's like.
You should do it.
I want to speak Ekans. I'd love to speak Ekans.
You want to speak Snake.
Closest thing to Parcel Tongue I'll ever get.
Now it's time for Mono a Mono, where we talk about the similarities and differences in these episodes.
So, let's start with our monsters of the week.
Giant Pikachu.
Jumbo Pikachu.
the best. It's really cool.
This episode is basically just like Godzilla.
There are a lot of comparisons to kaiju movies and stuff in this.
Basically, this episode is one of those really bad monster movies.
Yes, it is. And I absolutely love monster movies.
And they're hilarious.
Okay, so which episode do you think had the best storyline? Would it be Pokemon, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, I really genuinely enjoyed Pokemon episode. Like, Digimon was okay, it was good. It wasn't a bad episode, but Pokemon had me laughing out loud at some points.
It was so funny. This is one of the few episodes of Pokemon where I'd say, go watch it. It's so good.
I could quite happily watch this again, like this episode again, now.
I'm going to. Not right now, but I will watch it, like, maybe tomorrow. Were there any similarities or differences between these episodes?
There was sand, because they were on a beach, and also a desert, and there was a ship. But also, there's what I mentioned earlier about how there's that one scene where Team Rocket wake up on the beach, and there's a phone booth there. That is just part of an iconic scene from the second episode of Digimon, so...
Yeah. Other things, there's a giant cactus, and there's also giant Pokemon. And there's just things that you'd find on holiday, like on a cruise ship, or on the holiday resort island.
Giant chickens that want to eat your face meat.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what ships you've ever been on, but those are not normal things.
I mean, just like sort of theming behind them. I don't know. It's a very loose connection.
Which episode did you enjoy the most?
Pokemon.
Yep. And does that mean that Pokemon gets the point?
Yeah, of course. It earned it, which makes the score 10-7 to Pokemon. Join us again next time where we'll be watching episode 18.
The Piximon Cometh and Beauty and the Beach.
You can subscribe to the Moncast on Soundcloud, Stitcher and iTunes. And if you'd like to leave an iTunes or Stitcher review, we'd be really grateful.
You can find our social media on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr and Witherable forums if you search for The Moncast.
Or you can email us at themoncastpodcast@gmail.com or comment on our Reddit post once each week.
Make sure to contact us if you want anything mentioned on the show, and we'll cover it in the next administration segment.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
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 It's like, I saw it and I was like, similarity. We have something. Granted, it's not the same episode, but it's a similar thing that happened. I was really excited.
15 episodes later.
Pokeworld weirdness.
It gives them plenty time to take it from Digimon. Maybe. No, because they're broadcasted at different times.
Yes, they are.
So no, I'm just being dumb.
No comment. I like a villain who is powerful but doesn't have to be all evil and brooding and...
It's more fun.
Okay, let's use words, Sam. You can do this. You know a lot of them, at least 4 of them.
If you put an S on the end of evil and then swap around letters, you get Elvis.
Oh my
Evils. Elvis is evil.
Mind
guys.
blown.
But that's just a theory. A Digimon theory. Thanks for listening.